What is up, YouTube? MadScientistX back for another video. It's getting interesting. We're going to start talking about the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, I made this on my 3D printer. It's a little Super Nintendo. I know there's some on the market, but I wanted to do it myself. It's got a little Raspberry Pi in there. Painted it up, used my laser engraver to put some logos on there and stuff. Looks really nice, right? So what I want to talk about today, we're going to get the Raspberry Pi ready to install RetroPie, which is the video game emulation software. We will not be covering ROMs or where you're going to get your game ROMs from and stuff like that. Anything that could be considered unethical, we will not be covering. Usual places, you'll just have to figure that out on your own, but now I will show you how to install RetroPie and get it ready to go. I recommend you have at least a 16 gigabyte micro SD card, and we'll get started. Alright, so first you're going to take your micro SD card and you're going to place it into your computer. If you don't have a micro SD reader on your computer, you can get like one of these USB micro SD readers like so. Just take and place your SD card in the reader, pop it in your computer, and we'll get on to the next step. Alright, now that your SD card's in your computer, we need a program called Win32 Disk Imager, and we're going to go over to SourceForge. There'll be a link down below. I'll just go ahead and show you that now. As you can see, this will be the link. When you click, it'll start downloading automatically. So that's that. Next thing, once you've got that downloaded, you want to go on over here to RetroPie page. If you have a Pi 0 or a Pi 1, then you'll download this one. If you've got a RetroPie 2 or 3, you'll download this version. That goes for the 3B or the new Plus. You'll download this version here, the 2.3 version. This will also be down below in the description. Once you get this downloaded and you have Win32 Disk Imager installed, we'll go on to the next step. Alright, now that you have them both downloaded, let's go ahead and go down here and type in Win32. You'll see the Win32 Disk Imager. Open that up, click yes if it asks you, and you'll see this little blue folder. Alright, the first thing we want to do though is we're going to take the RetroPie installation files that we've downloaded. It's probably going to be under your downloads folder or wherever you saved it to. We're going to go ahead and open this. Go ahead and unzip it. You'll see inside that there is a image file. Drag that image file out. And when this is completed, we're going to use Win32 Disk Imager to make a Raspberry Pi image on our SD card for our Raspberry Pi. So it's almost finished here. Alright. Okay, now that that's done, I'm going to click here on this blue folder. Click the folder. It's on our desktop right now, mine is. So you'll see right here RetroPie image right there. Click that. That's going to put your RetroPie image in here. So you're good there. Now make sure that your SD card is selected here under device. I've already done this, so I'm not going to be doing this, but make sure that your SD card matches. Go in here under this PC or type in this PC down here in the type search bar, and you'll see it'll say like drive E or drive I or whatever your SD card is. Make sure that's the same here, and when that's all done, go down here and click on write and wait until that's finished. And when that's finished, we'll go on to the next step. Alright, when you've done that, you want to take your SD card that we've just installed RetroPie on, and you're going to place it into your Raspberry Pi like so, and we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so now you can go ahead and plug in your Raspberry Pi to your TV or monitor or whatever you're going to plug it into. Power it up. you should be presented with the RetroPie screen. Once it's fully loaded, it's gonna show where you have to use some type of an input. I would recommend a game controller. If you have like a USB NES or SNES controller, or even a Xbox controller, I think even PS4 controllers should work. And I highly recommend that you also have a USB keyboard for typing in your Wi-Fi. But just go into Raspberry Pi and go into the menu once you set up your controller. It's very easy. It's just up for up, down for down. You just follow the instructions on the screen, and once you've got it all set up, you want to go set up your Wi-Fi. It may say something about you have to set your country up before your Wi-Fi will work. Just go into the Raspberry Pi settings under the configuration, and you'll see Wi-Fi, and it should take you to the menu you need to be in. Make sure that you set your Wi-Fi local location to whatever country you're in, and then it should ask you to input your Wi-Fi password. Do that, and you should be connected to the internet, and we'll continue on. So now you've got RetroPie set up, you got your Wi-Fi on, and you want to know, how do you get games on here? Okay, I'm not going to tell you exactly where you're going to get your games. That's going to be for you to find out. I can't really go into that. I can tell you how to put them on there after you've got them. For me, I think it's best if you own the games that you have a digital copy of, but you can do what you want. So you can go on your menu there under RetroPie configuration, and it should say IP address. So that'll tell you what your IP address is. So it should be like 192.168.1. whatever. It's different on everybody's. Remember that. Now if you're on Windows 10, you can go down here in the search bar, and you can type your IP address. So you can be like / 192.168.1. 23 for instance. And if that's the IP address of your Raspberry Pi, when you hit enter, it should bring up a folder, and inside that folder should be a folder called ROMs, and inside of that folder will be a listing of things, and that's where you'll put your ROM files. So I hope this video helps someone out install RetroPie. If so, please like and subscribe. I'll really appreciate that. And I'll see y'all next time.